The welcome in Egypt was a little schizophrenic. As was implied in the introduction, I deliberately chose this long and slow route. People said to me, why don't you just sail the goods to Alexandria and head for Rafah? I said, because I want to give the Egyptian government plenty of time to think about us. I want to give the media time to build a public relations momentum that will make sure that the Egyptian government does not stop us at the border. And by the time we reached Egypt, they met us at the border in Saloum with their pictures of Hosni Mubarak and told us we were the guests of the ruling party, the National Democratic Party. I was happy with this. It meant we were getting in when we might not have, and that it increased our chances of getting our convoy through Rafah into Gaza. But they kept us away from Alexandria, from Cairo, from any city or any town. We stayed entirely in the desert. We didn't see an Egyptian, except the police. We saw many of those. Until one night in Al-Arish. That will be the title of my next book, One Night in Al-Arish. Trust me, it's not as exotic as it sounds. They put us in a car park, and they encouraged me the next morning to go ahead to the border. And they tried to push me across the border. I told them I came here with a convoy. I can't cross into Palestine without the convoy. The convoy will be along later, they said. But we had CB radio in every vehicle. And I quickly learned that the convoy had not left Al-Arish and was now surrounded by 1,000 Egyptian policemen who were insisting on going through everything on the vehicles to decide that which could go through Rafah, Egyptian controlled, and that which would go through Al-Awda, an Israeli controlled checkpoint. I told them this is impossible. We brought this material all the way from London. We're not going to cross without it. They said, you'll have to coordinate with the Israelis. I said, I never coordinated with the Israelis in my life, and I'm not going to start now when I've come all the way. So I lay down on the grass with my sleeping bag and all the cameras taking my picture. I told them I'm not leaving until the convoy arrives. They became embarrassed by all the cameras and asked me to go back to Al-Arish to try to sort the matter out. When I got back there, I told them that if you do this, then I'm going to lead this entire convoy all the way back through Egypt, back to Libya. And we will not cross into Gaza. And the whole world will know that we did not cross because you were trying to stop us taking the means of life into Gaza. So we reached a compromise, which is again very instructive. The officials of the Egyptian regime went through all the vehicles. They took off that which we were not allowed to take through, and then turning their backs, they said, quickly, quickly, put it back on again. And this farce was presumably to tell the others that they had done their duty to them, whilst avoiding me taking the convoy all the way back to Libya. Which again is significant. This shows that even in the security apparatus of the Egyptian state itself, their people hate the role that their government is forcing them to play. So by 5 o'clock in the morning, everything was back on the vehicles and we headed for Rafah. And on the birthday of the Prophet, peace be upon him, the 9th of March, we entered Palestine and kissed the holy ground. Hundreds of us entered Palestine to a welcome which is simply impossible to convey. Practically the whole of the Gaza Strip came out to receive us. The people crying, cheering, welcoming us in a way that none of the people on this convoy, most of whom had never been to Palestine before, will ever forget. I myself had been to Palestine many times, more times than I can count, and I have been with the Palestinians through many disasters, including the massacres in Sabra and Shatila, as I told you. But I had never seen a situation as bad as we found in Gaza when the sun rose the next morning.